Okay. Welcome. We're here at another workshop through Melanincon 2026 where we're hybrid. We're just trying to give game to help people progress and build on their brands. We're here with Buchi
Yes,
from
sir.
the Fine Wine series, and we're going to be talking about ecosystems over silos, building strategic partnerships, coalitions, and shared infrastructure. Welcome, brother.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
Tell the people about you for a second before we get right into the questions.
For sure. Buchi Osondu, one of the co-founders of the Fine Wine Series. Fine Wine Series is one of the largest Black-owned festivals, wine festivals, in the U.S.
Welcome. And yes, they are.
Yeah,
We're gonna hop right into it.
let's do it.
Fine Wine Series is the largest Black wine festival, as you stated,
Hmm.
in the United States, and you have built it into a national recognized platform with your partners that bridges food, music, storytelling, and culture while champion Black and brown owned wine brands. When you look at what you built, how much of that success came from what you built alone versus what you built through partnerships and collaboration with others?
Alone, man. I don't think I built any of this alone. The beauty of entrepreneurship, the beauty of building anything at this point is collaboration. Is who you work with, is your partners, both on you know the organizing side and also on a brand perspective side as well too. So
Uh,
yeah, man.
I know that the hallway, the long way, always possible.
Got to, man.
uh,
Nothing is built alone, man. Nothing is built
you
alone.
can't, you can start it alone, but you can't build it alone.
Can't be.
And that's what tonight's all about. A lot of bright entrepreneurs talk about the need to collaborate more, but
Mhm.
then keep building in silos. What is actually stopping people, and what had to change in how you thought about your own business before you could start building ecosystem level partnerships?
For the most part, for the team and myself as well too. I think we're big on working with people, working with partners. Like I said, when you're building something, partnership is key. Like you move
Mhm.
faster when you're collaborating. You move faster when you have a really strong network. When you're building that ecosystem as well too. So I think for us, at the heart of it is like we try our best to really tap in with the people around us.
And I'm one of the people y'all tapped in with, so
There you
I
go.
appreciate it.
Well,
I live in DC. Where you based out of?
I'm in New York, man. Born,
Okay,
born,
okay,
and, born
okay.
and raised, man. Queens, New
I
York.
live in DC, and one of the main things I see here is all these poppin' dope brands
Mm,
that all do poppin' dope things that never collaborate.
yeah.
It'll be something like you have all these musicians in one city,
Mm,
and they wait for festivals when you could just take a whole quadrant of DC and have your own festival.
yeah.
Like y'all are all magicians, and like y'all should be able to collaborate in a way that everybody wins. I feel like a lot of people think that when they pour into somebody cup,
Mm,
they pour from their cup versus the universe cup. And God gonna make sure your cup is always filled. So
100%.
you should do your part by pouring into others, because
Yeah.
we all just one handshake, one pair of eyes from all our dreams coming true. And you never know who's in somebody's never. You know what I'm saying?
And you know
Uh,
how it goes. It's a small world. We all kind of connected to some capacity. So yeah, you know.
Especially if you're doing more. Like, it's a lot of people that get 24 hours, and that's fair. Just go to work, come home, chill, play the game, do exercise, do whatever. But then
Mm,
there's the people that take that 24 hours and try to inspire and do different things. I feel like that community is a niche community.
mhm.
Uh, just like during this administration, I feel like we should be able to tap into each other more. And like, it's not always about the dollar. Like, it's enough black dollars. Black dollars lead in every and any category. It's enough dollars for us to
Sure.
make the money we need. It shouldn't always, to me, it should always be about the money. and I have had a large platform for the longest. And whether somebody got 200 followers or 200,000 followers, I'm going to listen to you out. I feel like that's how we connected. We was talking about one of y'all fine wine series, and I was just like, "Nah, bro, don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
No
No,
money, no nothing. I repost
you
whatever
held
you
it
said,
down,
brother."
man. You definitely held it down, and I really appreciate that type of collaboration because it's really
Because
it's intentional. You know what I mean? Like,
and it shouldn't be rare, but it's rare because like people always seeking things. Like I
mm,
have an event coming up, and I'm reaching out to different platforms, different people to try to get to uh my overall goal, and I'm just like, man, it's pulling teeth. Like I can't give you $100,000 of whatever you're looking for. Like we're a community organization. We're only as good as the community that pours into us. Like we can't. It's not like I have sponsor backings. Like I come out of pocket. So like when I reach out, it's intentional when it comes to collaboration.
100%,
Uh,
100%.
Most people think that they are building an ecosystem when they are really just collecting contacts. What is the actual difference between a network and an ecosystem, and why does the distinction matter so much for long-term growth of Black-owned businesses and brands?
I think personally, I think they both work together. You know, what I mean, you need that network to really build that ecosystem. And I kind of speak for myself, but and the brand, but a lot of people that you meet throughout that networking phase of people that essentially become part of that ecosystem. So I think it's really important to know that networking is important, and you just never know who from that space or whatever space you're at can become part of the ecosystem.
And that's that you just never know. Like
Never know.
I get emails and texts all the time from people who know people who know people who know people.
Mhm.
Even just before this call, I call her my forever host because anytime she's available, she's my host. Khadijah Corey,
Okay.
PG Princess. Anytime she's available,
Mhm.
she's hosting. I'm having her host. She hit me up and was like, "Hey, this brand want to get in contact with you.
Mhm.
Is it okay if I give you if I give them your information?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." Uh, like you just never know. And she's my host. Like she's
Mhm.
not my publicist. She's not nobody in my marketing team. Like she's just a supporter and somebody I support. And her contact became my contact. You just never know who anybody knows.
You never know, man, and
Uh,
that's how life works out.
Facts. Like the Fine Wine series brings together black and brown wine brands, festival
Mhm.
producers, food and music partners, and lifestyle audience for one platform. What does it take to build something that create real value for every stakeholder in the room instead of just extracting from each partnership for your own personal benefit? One way collaboration.
No, that's a good one. A lot of hard work. Okay. But to be honest, it's a lot of just really knowing who's in a space, and a really important question to ask anybody from vendors to the venue to DJs to everybody, like, what does success look like? So
Uh-huh.
that's a really important question for me, and that's really important for the team as well too. And we usually lead with that question because that now opens up the floor to, okay, how can we now come together and make sure all of our goals are met? You know what I mean? And that's really the
I'm
story
sure
of.
that's a learning curve.
Sorry.
I'm sure that's a learning curve where you have to like trial and error to make sure you get that right. It wasn't
Of
probably
course.
something you all got right out the gates.
Yeah, of course, man. You're in business. You know how it goes. Like, you do go through that learning curve in the beginning, but I think we're at a point where we really understand the consumer. We understand our model, and
Mm-hmm.
we kind of pair everything up with our pillars to make sure it makes sense for everybody.
And y'all definitely do that well. I haven't made it to one yet,
We gotta
but
get
I
you out,
will. I'm
man.
intentionally going
Gotta
to
get
one
you out.
this year. I
Yeah.
haven't made it to one, but I'm intentionally going to one. I think I had an event
Mm.
on y'all DC one that y'all had last year.
We're
But
coming
I'm
back. We're
definitely
definitely
gonna
coming
make it
back.
a point to attend this year. Uh, The concept of shared infrastructure as it is at the heart of what you do. What does shared infrastructure actually mean in practice, and what does it look like when Black-owned business build it well versus when they try to reinvent the wheel individually?
Shared infrastructure is, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about that
Mhm.
ecosystem. So I think shared infrastructure is really important in a sense where we have to kind of pull our resource together to make this thing move. You know, it's a machine that we're building. It's a well-oiled machine, but in order for things to move, everybody needs to pull our resources together. So I think it's important for us to really think ahead and make sure,
Mhm.
back to alignment, everything got aligned with all parties that's involved.
I like that answer. Uh, and I
Appreciate it.
think I like this topic because I feel like I'm learning.
Good one, man.
I'm
It's
learning, and I have a lot of shared experiences when it comes to this. But I'm not
Mhm.
a professional, but I have a
Yeah,
lot of shared experiences through trial and error with a lot of this. Because you
yeah.
just collaboration is a very, very delicate thing, and
Mhm.
you don't want to be the person that collaborates badly.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
You know, it's part of business. You want to make sure that all the partners involved are happy and everybody's equally
yes,
satisfied with the outcome. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that we're super sensitive about.
yes.
We see that, man. We try our best to go above and beyond what people expect at all times, and that's kind of what kind of keeps us going for so many years.
What I learned, like the
Mm.
very first large scale event I did,
Mm.
if you're not aware, I created an event called the Black Excellence Gala.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I'm
the
familiar.
very first one, I had some of my sponsors email me afterwards and
Mm.
just saying where they thought I failed at. And it wasn't like, you did this wrong and you should never have this type of event again. It was like, but we felt like this and we didn't feel like valued at this juncture.
Mm.
And ever
Mm.
since then, your pitch deck is where you lay out what sponsors get. Literally turned that into a checklist
Mhm.
uh, to how to deal with each particular sponsor at each level so that I never make anybody that's supporting me and supporting my endeavors to help the community uh, feel
Mhm.
any kind of way but what they sign up to do. And then I try to always go above and beyond what they applied for. But I
Yep.
would never forget what they said at that first one of how they didn't feel valued and things like that. So that
Yeah.
was what 40 events ago, but I've learned that valuable lesson.
Yeah, it's part. It's all part of the learning process, man. And we all go through it. Even we go through our reviews. We see what the consumer is saying, what the guests are saying, and we take that super serious. Super serious.
As you should,
Yeah.
because you're only good as your community. Like
Exactly.
Fine Wine Series, Melancon, the Pot Standard, we are only as good
It's
as
our
the people
community.
that support us.
Yep.
Like that's how we're able to sustain through pandemic level things because it's
Exactly.
our community that keeps us afloat. And when in doubt, always go back to what got you where you at. Whatever you did to get where you at,
Mm-hmm.
just double down on it. Is
That's it.
my take. Black entrepreneurs often struggle with trusting other black entrepreneurs. Woof, enough to build share platforms and coalitions. Where does the distrust come from historically, and how do you create the conditions for a real collaboration to happen?
Distrust. I can speak for myself on this one as well too. So I think when you have your foundation of what the ideal partner looks like, you have your pillars, you have your mission as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very hard to kind of come across that the distrust piece because a lot. Honestly, if I'm coming towards you, there's a reason why. And I'm going full speed with it. You know what I mean? So personally, I can speak for myself. I can speak to fire about fire wine. We don't necessarily hit that piece because we're very big on how do we push the brand forward, how do we push our mission forward, which is how do we really highlight black and brown owned wine brands.
I think see, you said it positive. Uh
You'll get to
I
know me. I'm a very, very positive dude.
yeah, but you got to give the people the nitty gritty. I
Yeah.
I experienced this at all levels, and
Yeah.
you never really appreciate a good collaboration
Mhm.
until you had a one-way collaboration to where you benefit, where not you benefit, but they benefit way more than you.
Mhm.
And what I've learned, like I said, I built my brands, multiple brands to where they at, and a lot of times I'm the upper brand that's getting reached out to collaborate.
Mhm.
And in those scenarios, a lot of people have a lot of different tiers people have to meet before they collaborate with them, especially if they have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers. I
Yeah.
never care. Uh, but I always take my ego out of it. If
Yeah.
you take your ego out of it, in my head, it's like service. I wouldn't really call it community service because I feel like that demeans the collaboration, but
Yeah.
I consider it service. Like,
Mhm.
obviously these people really needed your help for something, and
Mhm.
maybe they don't know how to do two-way collaborations.
Mhm.
Maybe their only goal is to meet their goal and they don't know. And I feel like a lot of that stuff don't cost you nothing to support. I
Mhm.
always tell people that hit me up to, I used to sell ads on my brand page,
Okay.
and every now and then I get like a campaign, somebody reach out for a campaign,
Mhm.
and it's paid, but it's not the driving force to my platforms anymore. It's just more, if it happens, it happens.
Okay.
But I always say reposting is free. Like if you collaborate, if you want to collaborate just for me to repost you, you can just say, "Hey, can you just repost me?" It don't have to be a whole
Yeah.
community partnership rollout. Like, bro, just tag me in your story. I repost you. It's not that deep.
Not that
I
deep.
feel like when it comes to the on the topic of the question, when it comes to a lot of the bad collaborations, it's just
Mhm.
people have too high expectations. Like
Yeah.
you should, your expectations literally just supposed to be the people. Long as the people get what they need, the collaboration is a success. It's not, oh dang, I saw them made $10,000. They ain't give me $1. You don't know what these people doing with their money, man. Like
No
you
idea.
don't.
Everybody's
You
built.
don't know what hole they already in. Like you just
Yeah.
don't know. Like stop pocket watching. Collaboration and ego is oil and water. It should not exist.
No, not in
Uh,
a partnership. No.
that's when you get to the things like the questions speak of.
Mhm.
Not all partnerships are created equal. How do you identify the right partners for the
Mhm.
kind of ecosystems you are trying to build? And what questions do you ask before you commit to a relationship that will involve shared resources, audience, and brand equity? That's a great question.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to the same question I usually ask: what does success look like for you guys? I think once we're all aligned on what we're all trying to accomplish in that, it's a lot easier to now create that ecosystem and make sure it works like the machine. You know what I mean? So I think for me is just asking those questions, actually understanding where they're coming from, and now we can move forward with the next steps. Is okay, do we align on such and such goals?
I feel like
Well, I mean, does
that
that?
is a great answer
Yeah.
for people that's hitting you up. But what about when y'all looking to partner up? What would that, would
Mm,
y'all ask the same question, or is a different tier system that you go through?
mm,
Well, that's because y'all go to a lot of cities.
yeah.
So like when y'all in the cities and y'all looking for collaborators
Mm,
to push the event or to just build the ecosystem of that area. When
mm.
you're based in New York, what do y'all look for, and how do y'all judge it when it comes to partners? Because it's 1,000 promoters in the city. Y'all ain't just hitting anybody up to be on y'all ticket.
Yeah, I think it's all about that structure that you put in place in a forehand. You know, we obviously to what you said before is like you go through the trial and error phase, but I think we're at a point where we built out our model where we know what the brand should look and feel like, and who is a right partner for us for each specific city. So I think, to cut it long, not nice and short, but we just is about creating that structure and those questions, like what success look like, what are some of your goals, are you aligned with the direction Fine Wine is going in, what are you trying to gain from this process. I think once you kind of lay everything out in the beginning, life becomes so much easier. So even when we're kind of tearing up, even to the like bigger brands, that's always my first questions. What does success look like? Because I need to make sure we're all aligned, and I want to make sure like you are happy with the end product. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Like that's the great answer, because I feel like a lot of people look at it from the perspective of, like I said, brands reaching out to you because y'all are so successful.
Mm-hmm.
But as a successful brand, you also reach out to people.
You have to. Yeah.
So to build your ecosystem. So I think what you said is key. Uh, you are building in the wine and lifestyle space, which
Mm-hmm.
has historically been predominantly white
Yep.
in both ownership and audience. What does it take to build strategic partnerships in an industry that is not built for you? And how do you navigate these power dynamics without compromising your mission?
Yeah, I think it starts with these exact conversations. How do we come together? How do we build this brand? How do we collaborate? I think once your perspective turns into that, you're able to move a lot faster. You have a stronger base because you're not moving alone. You're moving with people. You're moving with
Mm-hmm.
this army. And I think
Uh-huh.
the beauty of it is, as you're growing in the space and as you're doing things, it just becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So it becomes like a big domino effect. And I think just doing things like that helps elevate everybody in this space. The more we work together, the more, we share our resources, the more we create that ecosystem is what really builds this thing.
And this is not a question you was prepared for. It wasn't on the list, but I'm
So, of
interested due to my own experiences having a
course.
black led event. Have you ever been in a position where the goals of your black led organization and black led event could be considered compromised, or you thought about, like, are they asking me to pivot when I already have? You don't have to talk about the brand, but has that ever came up? Or
Uh,
people just look at wine like it's not really black or white. It's just we all just in a space to feel good.
I'm trying to understand the question. You're saying if we've hit
Have
it.
you all ever been in a position where y'all brand identity was in question to where you have to water it down to fit within a bubble in order to get the brand partnership that y'all was uh protesting for?
No, I would say the reason I said no is because we're very stern on like what we're trying to do with the brand and where we're trying to go with it. I think once you have this vision, or once we had this vision of what we wanted to do with it,
Mm,
we were super aligned with this. This may not work for us, and this may never work for us, but you got to be okay with it, because at the
okay.
end of the day, we have this mission that we said we're gonna follow through with, and we're not down to water the brand at all. We're strong and steadfast.
I had a corporate sponsor that I was talking to,
Mhm.
and they asked me, am I sold on 100% on the name of my conference being Melanincon?
Mm. That's a wild question to ask.
And I thought about it. I was like, hey, I really need the money, but
Yeah,
we can't compromise the brand and the goals, because this is what we are. We are Melancon. Like,
yeah,
so it can't really be compromised for that, for a dollar. The mission should always be the mission. And
The mission should always be the mission, man. And you know how it goes. As a black-owned brand, we're not. People aren't throwing the bag at us. You know what I mean? So
oh no, they
it's
actually taking it away under
taking it
this
away.
current administration.
They
I don't know
taking
if
it
you
away.
saw, but last Melanincon, super successful. But
Yeah.
last Melanincon, we 30 days prior, we
Mhm.
had a sponsor. They did the title sponsor pull out,
Mhm.
and because, and I quote, I will never forget these words. We are trying to be in compliance with the current administration DEI efforts, and we can no longer support your event.
That's
30
insane.
days before.
That's insane. That's insane.
Pull all this money out of the event.
Mhm.
And it's an interesting climate, which is why we took a step back because I felt like a lot of my efforts was spent trying to get corporate dollars opposed to grassroots, and I feel like I just hopped right into it. But and now I'm taking a step back so I could grassroot everything and like
Okay.
actually get. We have enough money in the Black community. We don't have to shuck and jive for these different corporations. Like we have enough money in the Black community. We have $1 million, $1 billion organizations within our community, and that
Yeah.
money's there. I just don't think it's allocated well. So the goal is to get to these people so it can be more put into the community versus the things that it already go to.
That's
In terms of partnership, though, what has been your most valuable partnership, and what made it work in a way that other partnerships have not?
that's a good one. So for us, I would say normally people would just throw out some big brand, but for us, really, it's our wine vendors. Reason I'm saying that is because these are the brands that make the Fine Wine Festival what it is. So without those wine brands there, kind of pouring and sampling and really showing what they have in the juices, we wouldn't have the niche of what we're doing as the Fine Wine Series Festival. You know what I mean? So a lot of the value kind of lives within that. So when you think about brand partnerships, when you think about partnerships in general, I think for us, that's really where it don't get better than that type of value for our event.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh, there's a difference between a coalition and a committee. One
Hmm.
creates change and the other creates meanings.
Hmm.
What does a functional coalition look like for Black owned businesses, and what has to be in place for it actually to move things forward?
I think alignment is a huge thing. Like everybody needs to be aligned, and obviously, when you have alignment, the textbook answer is you need some sort of systems behind it. But realistically,
Systems.
systems is huge. Like
My
especially
publicist is online and she's big on systems.
the systems, man, and it comes from trial and error. You know what I mean? But once you do create that piece of not piece, but pieces of your business and create systems
Mhm.
within, that's when the coalition really starts, and that's when everybody's able to kind of pull in everything and really move at full speed.
So you all, how
Mm.
many people makes up you all and y'all success
There's a lot
on
of
the
us.
back end?
We're like the fake Wu-Tang Clan on the back. We have people that handle, our vendors. We have people that handle our marketing. We have, people that are on the operation side and production side. And the beauty about a lot of this is we are blackity black black,
Yeah, okay.
blackity black black.
and
Yeah,
and this is off topic.
oh,
Uh, it's not off topic, but it's off. It's not on your question list.
that's good.
Uh, but we're talking about building, right? And I actually have this question. When it comes to, like you say, y'all like the fake Wu-Tang Clan,
Hmm.
how in the world did you vet these people and in terms of performing for the brand versus individuals? Like how did you automatically just trust these people offhand? Are these people that y'all grew up with? Are these people that like applied for a position and got it? Like how did you vet everybody to make the Fine Wine series the success that it is?
It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. So we we're young. We've been doing this for since young. So obviously, as you're doing things, you learn super key tools that you need to run a business, which is hiring. How do you get the right people on your team, and how do you know, or how do you know that this person is aligned with the overall mission? And part of it is really, a little bit of everything. You go through the interview process like any other business, or you might go through a process where we're kind of deep diving what you've done in the past and projects, all sorts of fun stuff. You try your best to get creative with it. Um,
Mhm.
but that's kind of how we've been doing it. But for the most part, trust is a big part of it. To what we were talking about earlier
Mhm.
if we come to you or you come to us, a big part of it is trust. You know what I mean?
That's a good answer.
Yeah,
I think I just learned something.
yeah. Trust is a big part. So, but we're very trusted people.
Got to, right?
Very trusted people, man.
It works because y'all are top tier when it comes to wine festivals.
Appreciate it.
What role do events and live experiences play in building and sustaining coalitions, and why do you think bringing people into physical spaces
Hmm.
together is still a irreplaceable, even in a digital first world? You had things like COVID.
Hmm.
You have things like now people rather swipe on Tinder and all these things, playing
Hmm.
video games in virtual worlds.
Yep,
Why do
yep.
you think it's still important and for us to gather in spaces like the Fine Wine series?
I think just in person is never gonna go away.
Mm,
It's one of those things that we all need as human beings that really build our soul. You know what I mean? And I've been super passionate about like bringing people together since I was, young. So it's one of those
mm,
things that me personally I take super serious, and I'm very passionate about it because I've been doing it for this long. And the events world is no joke. But
no, 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 no.
but going through COVID, going through all these different phases with life and the business, you come to realize that at the end of the day, people gathering together will never be not cool or never be not accepted. We'll always gather together. It's one
Mhm.
of those things we'll always do. But for us as curators, it's our jobs to always try our best to add values and curate these spaces so people want to actually pull up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that's it, man. That's really it. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. I don't think that's a thing for humans.
When it comes to the Fine Wine series,
Mm-hmm.
y'all have grown it into a national recognized platform.
Mm-hmm.
What does scaling an ecosystem look like differently than scaling a single business? And what new challenges come with trying to maintain the integrity of a community centered model as you grow?
There's a lot of challenges.
Oh boy.
You'll go through challenges when you're doing 50 people to 150 people. You'll go through challenges when you're going from 200 to 5. No matter, there's always going to be some sort of challenge that you face. I would say for us at the Fire Wine, one big one is space. Space is a big one for us because as you grow, you need space to accommodate all these people
Yeah.
without diluting your brand and also keeping that same feel that everybody's used to. One of the things that we try our best to do is we want every fine wine festival to feel very intentional, one, and we also want it to feel like, yo, they didn't skimp out on anything this year. It's
Right, right, right.
10, 11 years strong, and it's still, you could tell they still putting their heart into it. And I think that's why we're able to last long. That's why we're able to scale because we've grown this brand where people are like, if I go to Fine Wine, I know what I'm getting. Like
Uh-huh.
they're not gonna skimp out on the experience. You know what I mean? And we take that with pride. Like we don't play around with that piece.
As you shouldn't. And like I said, it's working. The people see it.
Thank you, thank
Y'all
you.
been published. Y'all been talked about. Like it's working.
Yeah, thank you.
uh, But right now, though, we're in an interesting situation.
Hmm.
Black-owned businesses are under increased economic and political pressure right now.
Yep.
DI is being pulled, and corporate partnerships are being reconsidered. And the landscape for Black entrepreneurs has shifted significantly in the
Mhm.
past 2 years. How does an ecosystem approach actually protect Black businesses in the environment better than operating solo?
We're all we got, man. It's super important. It's kind of similar to what we spoke about earlier. It's very important to work with each other.
Mhm.
Um, we need each other to build our businesses. We need each other to support. We need each other to talk about it. We need each other to really bring our own individual niches into building out this whole ecosystem. You know what I mean? So I think more than ever right now, this this is when is the most important. This is the one is when is most important.
And just one quick question.
Yeah.
What's one thing every Black entrepreneur that's listening
Hmm.
should stop doing alone?
Should stop doing alone.
Yeah,
Just one.
just one.
I I think that's an interesting one. One thing we should all stop doing alone is I think it's a lot of things. It's very tough because there's so many things that kind of go into a business that sometimes we end up doing in the very beginning by ourselves, or
Uh
you know what I mean. So it's I don't know. I
huh.
got to think about this one, man. This is a good one. But one thing we should stop doing together would be, I mean, should stop doing alone is maybe. Sheesh. Let me get back to you on that and that.
We gonna have the people get you better send me the answer so I can repost it.
100% because I got to think about this one and I don't want to just shoot out an answer. So I got you on this one.
Like I said, I ain't gonna hold you up all night. This is meant to be
Yeah, this
45
is this is
minutes.
a beautiful
Uh,
conversation, man. I love it. I love to do it.
it's meant to be like realistic. It's meant to give real answers.
Mhm.
I created all this because I have seen and I've seen people discourse on threads
Mhm.
about how panels have become ego driven and just a pat on the back for what you're doing.
Yep.
So we at Melanincon, we took a step back so that we can give the information without the fluff. That's why all the questions are created the way they are.
Mhm.
Uh, what does Melanincon mean to you? And why does a platform like this matter for the kind of coalition building you are committed to?
This is huge, man. It gives people that look like me and you the opportunity to really tell our story. You know what I mean? And we're talking about what's going on right now in America, and I think platforms like this, it's super important for building this ecosystem and what we got going on.
Because you said it best. We all we got.
We all we got, man.
I think Trump is the best thing to happen for Black people because
Yeah,
you got to hear me out.
I'm
I
listening.
think
I'm
think
letting you
he's
in the
the
plane,
best
man.
thing to happen for Black people because instead of always looking outward, we have to look inward now.
What's
We
going
have to build these ecosystems. We have to nurture these ecosystems. We have to build these coalitions of uh, togetherness in order to make sure we still strive under
on?
the 4 years that we have him. It's nobody coming to save us, but we are fully equipped and have the tools within our own communities to save
Hmm.
ourselves. And I feel like for a lot of years, we got comfortable with uh, all these systems that let us become complacent. But
Hmm.
right now, under this current administration, we don't have room to be complacent. We don't have room to be crabs in the barrel. We don't
Yep.
have room for a lot of the things that have crippled our communities
Yep.
for years. So yeah, I feel like he's the best thing that happened to us.
Funny thing is, now that you said this, and I'm thinking about the question, I got an answer. I think we need to stop thinking we can do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very important piece because we cannot do it alone. And once we understand that piece, we're able to really now be intentional about building that ecosystem, building our network, and understanding like people and the community around you are what makes you successful in what you do.
See, so you came through with the gym. See, all right,
Thank you, man. I told you I wouldn't leave you hanging. But that's
I've enjoyed this conversation, and hopefully, I can keep this type of things going. For
hope
the
you do,
people that's
man.
listening,
It's necessary, man. It's necessary for the culture.
where can the Melanincon community, the people that's going to hear this after this, where can they find you, follow the Fine Wine series, and get connected to everything you all are building?
For sure. You can find us at the Fine Wine series at pretty much all your social platforms. Website, the Fine Wine series as well too. Personal page, you can find me at buchi.nyc. Feel free to shoot me a message. I'm always open to talking to fellow entrepreneurs.
And again, brother, I appreciate your time. I'm sure the
Thank
people
you
that's
for
going to
having me.
listen appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
You have a blessed evening, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you.